All right, we're back,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Welcome back to Project Eggroll. Hey, how's it going, Grae? How are you, man?
good, good.
All right, man. As you can tell, I just literally got back my internet today, like earlier today. Like I was literally like out of
Oh,
internet.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I saw your Discord.
yeah. Like on like I think Thursday and Friday was basically like I didn't have any internet. Like I wasn't even able to work or anything like that. But everything should be good now, man. How's everything on your end?
Yeah, I'm good. I spent the whole day yesterday finishing up on the review on my Valkyrie Elysium review.
Ah, cool, cool. Awesome, dude. I actually just finished watching both what's it called again? Andor and Rings of Power. So I just finished watching that and oh man, I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of things to say. But yeah, so what's it called again? Let's go ahead and actually jump onto this article first before we are going to be starting off with the Rings of Power. But oh my god, man. I was actually there were some parts where I actually screamed and I was actually upset because of what happened. But let's go ahead and read this. And
Well,
this story, yeah, go
we
ahead.
got one more week. We got one more
Yeah,
week.
one more week in this piece of crap. But all right, and this is from Polygon, and it says the Rings of Power is holding Galadriel back. Galadriel has been a particularly difficult character for Amazon's Lord of the Rings series so far. While readers of Tolkien's work know her to be the one most powerful and interesting beings in the Middle Earth history, the Lord of the Rings and the Rings of Power also has to make her compelling and fallible protagonist in a TV show. And so far, it hasn't managed to find a balance between the two. While her moment to moment actions were questionable in every episode, the eye and the second to last episode of the season felt like a culmination of all the disappointing and frustrating choices the show has made with Galadriel so far. I I still hate her. I still hate this character. I feel like I would say she's actually literally like okay, like the whole village is completely covered in Cheeto dust. Everyone is fucking either dead or dying. And like she didn't like walk around and check up on like any of the villagers if they survived or anything. Like she basically
Uh-huh.
just found
Mhm.
Theo and a horse that like ran by her completely on fire and literally like, okay, cool, that's it. And then they just leave. They didn't even bother like checking up on like
Yeah,
if there were survivors, right?
I think there was even a burning person that she just ignored. Then they just rode off to wherever to scout. Is that really
Mhm.
the time to be scouting for orcs when people are dead? A lot of people are dead.
Yeah.
A lot of creatures are dead. Yeah, it's really strange. Then what else? What else was it? Uh Isildur allegedly died, but I don't know why they decided to put that twist on because everybody, literally everybody who watches knows that he's still alive. So I don't see the
Yeah.
point in doing that kind of plot line. Then
Like I would say like they're trying to make a show cater towards normies. Like I would say they probably absolutely do not care about book readers or hey, remember those six movies that came out like several years ago? Yeah, forget
mhm.
about that. We're gonna completely do our own shit, and that's how I feel like.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't know. Isildur's really a huge critical character in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
but in chat, burning person. Yeah, there
yeah.
was a
Burning
there,
person.
was- there was
Yeah,
a
I can't.
burning person that she just no, screw you. You can burn to
Nope,
death.
you're dead. See ya.
Yeah, you're dead. But for some reason she's okay with Theo.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a oh man, like it's just there's so many things, especially in this episode that I thought was just really bad. Man, was there anything in your area that you thought like, oh my god, this could be a lot better, or this could be done so much better? I don't know. Just her character is so unlikable. Yeah, yes, I agree. I don't care about the book readers.
they,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
Mhm.
I I want to say everyone probably. Well, yeah, it's really Durin at this point who's carrying the show. I
Yeah, I
mean,
would say so.
yeah, Disa is okay. Okay, I'm kind of fast forwarding. But
Mhm.
let me go back to trying to okay, I'm checking my notes. Yeah, then apparently Muriel got blind. I don't know if if that really happened in the books. Did she get blind because she was trying to help the villagers?
According to what I know, Muriel wasn't even supposed to become queen. So
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
They're
I
basically
that.
adding a bunch of shit in there now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. It's like don't tell everyone that I'm blind, but then she puts a blindfold on her eyes. Okay, not blind,
Just in case
not
you don't
blind
know
queen.
that I'm blind. Just in case you don't know, okay? This will
Oh,
100% show that
so-
I am blind. Well, they haven't invented sunglasses yet, so so she can't wear sunglasses. Oh man. But so let's go ahead and continue with this article. The Rings of Power introduced Galadriel to audiences as if her badassness was preordained fact was a preordained fact. It was assumed this was just something everyone knew, like the showrunner saying she's cute. Oh, not cute. She's Kate Blanchett from Lord of the Rings. You know her. She's cool. But the show never actually did any of the work to establish her competence as one of the world's greatest immortal warriors or her credentials as one of the most brilliant and ambitious elves. Instead, we get one troll fight in the beginning to prove Galadriel's martial prowess before the series begins to meticulously dressing down includes the banishment of from her people, almost dying in a storm and having to be rescued by a human, being rude and repeatedly mocked at Numenorian court, and finally having the same human teach her, an immortal elf, the finer points of diplomacy and conservation. Art of conversation. Yeah, it's
True.
it's just like it's just not like she's not good. It's just this whole scene is just her like being, hey, I'm gonna teach Theo now. And for some reason, in my opinion, I think Theo and her have some kind of like sexual tension. I'm not sure. That's how I felt. That's how I felt like a couple episodes ago. But yeah, it's pretty bad, right? One of the things that is right about her righteous fury over Sauron, viewers that already know where the story is going know that Sauron is still out there and should be hunted. But because the show wants to hide his identity from the audience, it further undermines Galadriel's character without a single other success or victory to build her up. With the mystery of the sigil so easily solved in episode 3, it feels like Sauron's continued omission simply adds to her long list of mistakes. Yeah, and then just this whole episode just her walking in this like ash filled land, and like we said in the last podcast, everyone should have died. Like there were that. It seems like
100%.
Mount Doom was really really close, and then for some reason in this episode, it's like really far all of a sudden. Like I'm not sure. Was it just me? Like it feels like Mount Doom was really close the last episode, and all of a sudden
It's
it's like
really
literally
close.
like
It's really
30 miles
close.
away.
Because if I'm gonna put it in the context in the Philippines. Prior to COVID,
Mhm.
there were signs of our volcano. It's because the Philippines is split into three: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. There was a volcano that erupted. The
Mhm.
ash reached all the way to the capital. The
Oh
but the
shit.
volcanoes I'm not even sure if it's in Visayas or but it's the volcano was really really far from the capital. But and yet the ashes reached here in the capital. So
Oh damn.
imagine them that it actually erupted. Then there allegedly all of them live.
Yeah. like originally I was like when I was watching it, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I guess maybe because she's an elf, she's in she's super strong and she can take the damage or something. And then later on, you see a bunch of them just like leave the village. You're like, wow, nobody died,
Yeah,
right? And,
exactly.
and, and then of course, then you jump forward later on into like when Theo is looking for his mom, and then he goes into the tent and you see like maybe 20 people at most, maybe 20 people at most that's in that tent, and maybe like half of them are dead. So I'm like, okay, so a lot of people survived, maybe a lot of people died in the village that they couldn't bring back, but it just seemed like a lot of people survived. And if this is supposed to be equivalent to like Mount Vesuvius in sort of relations to Pompeii, like you should be able to see like burnt like ash carcasses. I don't know, but holy
Yeah,
crap, man, that volcano.
charred
Do you know how far that?
bodies.
Yeah, yeah. How for but going back to what you said, how far was that volcano to where the
I need
capital
to
was?
wait. Let me check.
Because that's actually pretty
Yeah,
crazy. Like
it
hearing of
happened
that.
right before the start of COVID.
Okay,
Uh,
so it's like
wait,
March, probably March or
am I even
February.
searching the right? Am I even searching the right volcano? Yeah,
But
because we
yeah,
have
it's
three major volcanoes. But the point is,
oh crap.
it was so it's very far from the capital.
Mhm.
Way farther than how the show depict how close Mount Doom is to where they are. A
Okay.
lot farther, like thousands
Wow.
and thousands of miles. But yet it was just smoking. It didn't even erupt. It was just smoking. The ash of the smoke reached all the way to us. Like you can
Mhm.
see the cars covered in ash. If you're the moment you go outside, it reaches that far.
Oh
So
wow.
point being, imagine them that it actually erupted. It actually exploded.
Mhm.
But yet they all the major characters somehow lived. It's I don't know.
We don't
It's
know if
so baffling.
Isildur makes it to, to that point where he cuts off Sauron's hand. We don't know. He could have died there.
Yeah, they could have changed. He could have swapped them for someone else. Apparently, maybe
Yeah,
it's Galadriel now.
I
Maybe
know.
it's
Yeah,
Galadriel.
maybe, but it's just let's continue.
Yeah,
She took on
going
a
back
horde
to
of
that. Sorry,
yeah,
going back to the Theo scene. Isn't
yeah.
it's like it's so hypocritical of Galadriel to lecture him
Mm,
about not wanting it darkens the heart if you show so much spite against the orcs. Considering the last episode, she goes very detailed to Adar on
mm.
how she's gonna kill the orcs, how she plans. It's
I
I don't know. It's like it's a separate writers not in talking with each other.
Yeah. Or
It feels that
I
way.
have a feeling that they have like too many cooks in the kitchen. Like literally like maybe like 10 writers or something like that. And they don't understand or like figure it out like what the story of her should be. And hey, we should actually make her like this. Actually, we should also make her very smart and wise, but also at the same time she contradicts her like what she believes in, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
it's in the article. I just saw it now. She threatened with genocide. Then she's lecturing Theo about not harboring anger in her heart.
Yeah. She took on a horde of freed orcs, but did so with the army of her own but did so with an army of her own behind her. She hasn't won any great battles that we've seen. She didn't slay any sea monsters after she jumped off the elven ship bound. Yeah, like she maybe it was like really cool, but she killed the sea monster by herself. She didn't really convince Numenor to help the Southlands. And as we see in this episode, she hasn't fully earned the trust of Elendil, her longest standing ally in Numenor. When the episode's plots of the Southland tears itself free from post-eruption grief, it seems for a brief moment that Galadriel is poised for another realization, this time about her relationship to mortality and how death and how death more seriously affects those she's now allied with. Even for someone who has seen countless deaths, this disaster is clearly on a larger, more permanent scale than Galadriel has ever seen, particularly when so many humans and Numenorians lives are lost, and rather than the temporary end of Elf in the Middle Earth experiences. But none other than ever comes. Galadriel never recognizes death as a permanent part of the lives of the people around her, or the idea of bravery could have greater meanings to the humans and Numenorians than it has to the elves. Instead, we get a hollow declaration of revenge and promise of more armies, though it's not clear who they want to fight or what they'll even avenge, since all of the main characters seem mostly unscathed, the fact that despite the fact that Galadriel has still yet to prove herself in the Rings of Power. Seeing her face the true limits of her supposed greatness as a warrior, or comes to terms with the true sacrifice it means Middle Earth when it's done by those who won't have another chance, could have been a profound moment that helped breathe new and vibrant life into the corners of the Tolkien's most interesting characters. Instead, in the shadow of Mountain Doom, Galadriel remains a revelation less and exactly as boring as she has been up to this point. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's just like she she's just I feel like she's just really badly written, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I it's and the thing is that we're not talking about like, oh, the actor or the actresses are just like really bad. It's just it just
yeah.
they
She's
get crappy like material to work with.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's more of I kind of feel sorry for her at this point because like she can't really do anything about it. Like I'd like to think that she's actually a really good actress. It's just that you have to work with what you've got. Like you cannot deviate
Mhm.
from you cannot say anything back or else yeah they'll remove you from the so I mean yeah she's getting what do you call this backlash but it's can she really do anything can she
Mhm.
really like it's she has to work with what she's given so yeah it's makes me think reason like no it's not really we can't really put the blame on the actresses or the actors because it's really the management it's the writers it's the showrunners they're the ones who's
Yeah.
doing this.
But man, okay. So one of like three or four parts in this episode where I literally screamed because I was like literally like lying down like watching it, and I was like, like I was still pretty tired. And then when she said, when Theo asked, "Who did you lose? Like who, what kind of kin did you lose?" And then she was like, "Oh, I lost my brother Finrod, and and then I also lost another." And I was like, "Don't you fucking dare say it." Right. And she's like, "My husband." And I literally like, what the fuck? I was so upset. I literally shot up. I'm like, no fucking way they killed him off. And then, yeah, Celeborn. Yeah, he was lost. I was putting on an armor on him. And then that's the last time I saw him. So I'm like, okay, you better not like kill him off. A character that's already established. We know that he's alive in the original trilogy. So you better not kill him off. It's because like she didn't necessarily say, "Oh, he's dead. I saw him die," but she did not say it. He's like, "Oh, he was just lost." Like I lost him, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like I had to calm down.
Yeah,
I was so upset.
yeah. I would think they're going for the latter. That's why his name was only mentioned now, this late into the
Yeah,
season. Like I
yeah,
think they're going for like, oh, he's still alive. I think probably that maybe that's the twist of the episode, the final episode. Like,
mhm,
oh, he's actually still alive. Because like I think I don't know. It's an overkill to really actually get rid of him. Because
mhm,
as far as I know, their child, Celeborn and Galadriel, I think yeah, daughter
mhm.
is eventually gonna marry Elrond. Then their child Elrond and this daughter of theirs will give birth to Arwen,
Yeah,
which will be the wife of Aragorn.
correct.
So they really I don't think they're gonna go that far to killing off that tree. So I
Yeah,
mean that's what I think. But yeah, it's kind of yeah, it could have been done far better because Celeborn is really really major character. So yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah. But yeah, like with someone in chat says, I agree with that. Also, the writers are horrible. Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
I have a feeling it's just that they're like, oh, we want to make her everything, right? We want people to relate to her so much that they put in so many things that it's like that contradicts everything that you sort of make someone's to make someone relatable. And it's just like, okay, now that she has so many of these things in her, it's just like not you cannot relate to her anymore. It's like she's either going to be perfect or she's not, right? It's sort of like the last episode prior to this one, like how people were like what I'm literally like, what the hell? Like, how did she like when she's riding a horse and she just flips like that? I'm like, why would you ever do that? That's so dumb. And then you go online and hear people's like, Legolas did that too, like Legolas is actually did that, and we don't and no one said anything. I'm like, dude, when Legolas did that, I was upset too. When Legolas did that in the original, I'm like, that's so like over the top, like no way. But we sort of just accepted that Legolas was able to do it. So then they're like, okay, now we have to do it with her too. And it's just like, hey, remember that? And then now you have her just bringing characters like, okay, yeah, yeah, he we don't know if he's dead, but I think that he's dead. And you can't bring in her husband. It's because you got to have a love interest for her, which is which is what's it called again? Which is Halbrand, and Sauron.
Halbrand, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. So you have that, and then yeah, later on you see what's it called again? The Harfoots. Oh my god,
Oh
the
God,
Harfoot
yes.
were so dumb. I,
They
I I thought they were okay, but yeah, they were actually pretty
they're
dumb.
really horrible people.
Yeah, they're awful.
they're awful. They're really terrible people.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the funny part. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, a tiny bit with regards to the
Yeah, yeah,
Harfoots.
no
Yeah,
worries.
because I watched the review. It's like I laugh because they made a very good point.
Mm.
Their favorite character, their new favorite character. I'm talking about Angry Joe and Alex, and
Mm.
their new favorite character in the series is Feminem because she burned all their harvest.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
Feminem is amazing.
yeah, it's like I because what is it? Mysterious Man, aka Gandalf, was trying
Mm.
to bring life to the trees so they could have food to eat. But
Mhm.
just because one careless child Harfoot tries to go near, even though it's dangerous, and the
Mhm.
branch nearly kills them, they let him go right away. It's not even his fault. It's not even
Yeah,
he's even trying to help them. It's like, oh, we don't leave people behind. But then just one little infraction. Okay, off you go. Get out of here.
it's
It's
like
really
there's a song
and
that's saying, "Oh, we don't leave anyone behind," and but they've been leaving behind like
yeah, yeah,
their
every
branch
chance they
for a
could
long
get.
time.
Every chance they could get. And here's story. Here, have an apple.
Yeah, it's like for me, I like right away when I saw this other Harfoot which I've never seen before. I'm like the tree's gonna fall on her and kill her, isn't it? Or she's gonna get scared or something. I'm like, and of course the tree falls, and then when it comes down to it, like whose fault is it actually? I'm like, is it the little girl's fault? No. Is it Gandalf's fault? No. It's the parents' fault for like
Yeah,
allowing her to
for
like
to
escape their
go
grasp.
near.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And then you move forward, and another part that I thought was so dumb was when Nori saw the I don't know what they're called, the seers or the oracles, or Feminem's group, Feminem and
Yeah,
her
yeah.
posse, and they're like, all right, cool, this is the tree that they were touching, and then this is the little plant. Okay, we're gonna go this way now. And then Nori, for God knows what reason, comes out and say, he's over there, go that way. Do, why? I was like, why didn't you just keep your mouth shut? They obviously look evil. And then and you're all of a sudden surprised that all your like carts got like torched. It was
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's really all over the place.
mhm.
But yeah,
So
apparently
what's it
everyone's
called?
favorite is Feminem now.
Yeah, the thing is that she's never even said a word. Maybe she doesn't talk. I don't know. But and then I would say I do agree. Like whenever like there's the sort of the character building between like Durin and Elrond and Disa. I think that's probably the strongest part of the show right now. It's
Mhm.
not saying much, is because like it's not too much that's happened, and but you do know that what's it called again, like they're like, oh, can you help me with this to get these mithril, like we in return we'll
Mhm.
give you a bunch of shit. And then they're like,
Mhm.
no, right, we
Yeah.
don't want to do that. And then you have Disa talking to Durin, and then he's like, you should do it anyways, but he's the king, he's the will of the king and stuff like that. It's oh man, it's I would say that, like, what that was it the maple leaf was sort of like cursed, right? Or has the black like
Yeah.
veins on it. And then like when the I thought it was sort of stupid, but when the crystal, like he threw the crystal and it lands it right at the edge of the table next to the leaf, and all of a sudden the leaves like darkness goes away, and he's like, he's starting to believe. And it's like, and then it's funny is because he really really wants to help Elrond. And for
Mhm.
like I always forget that Durin is married with kids. And I'm always like, kiss Elrond already. God, just kiss him. God, you guys, your romance is so hardcore. Just kiss him already. And it's because he even told him, and I can't believe he said this, was like, like, I know that like I consider Elrond to be like my brother, like if me and him shared a womb or some shit like that. And I'm like, what? Of course, his father. You don't think your father will get mad if you said that?
Yeah. And yeah, even that plot line is kind of broken already from this
Mhm.
episode because we know what happened. Okay, I because the end is about the dwarf, so I'm gonna talk about the end of the episode a little bit. So yeah, it's because it's really they really forced to put Balrog here in this episode because Balrog was supposed to make his appearance or its appearance in
Mhm.
I could be wrong. Chat could correct me. In the third age, but this series is just the second age. So Balrog is way beyond from what these TV series. So
I
apparent,
hated that, man. I
yeah, that
hated
that
that so much.
that is that is one really mean leaf to awaken Balrog.
Yeah, it's like okay.
One time,
Yeah, like I was talking to my wife, and I was like, I guarantee you that the leaf is gonna awaken the Balrog, and she's like, no, it won't. I'm like, yes, it will. Yes, it will. Leaf fucking falls like a billion miles all the way into like the fucking center of the earth, not hitting anything, and all of a sudden just falls to the ground and awakens the Balrog. And it's I what I hated was that you had the opportunity to awaken the Balrog many times over already, and it's like you're making so much noise, you're like banging
yeah,
and like drilling and stuff like that into the freaking
yeah,
earth, and that does not awaken the Balrog. However, that one leaf awakens
awakens.
the
Yeah. That is one mean leaf.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
that's the thing. That's the thing. In the books, as per Alex from Angry Joe Show,
Mhm,
the Balrog's awakening was caused by the greed of the dwarves because they
mhm,
went digging and digging and digging. Okay, let's get more mithril, let's get more mithril. But
mhm,
in this case, it's like it's digging for the sake of saving the elves, not out of greed. And yet they're setting up the plot line to be we don't wanna dig up, so go ahead and die. So it's kind of a far cry compared to the books. Like it's
mhm,
the build up the Balrog, it's well deserved. Unlike here, it's like
mhm,
they're not even digging. They're not even digging out of greed. They're not even digging to save a life, to save a race from
mhm,
extinction. It's like, but in the books they're digging out of greed, which it's a manifestation of the greed is the Balrog. That's the symbol there. Like because of your
mhm,
sheer greed, this was the consequence. The Balrog came and slaughtered everything. But
mhm,
here it's like they don't even Durin being asked for whatever reason, like being political, I don't know, for being
mhm.
well, the reason it being too old, like what do you call this? Yeah, he doesn't want to help them because yeah, people are meant to die, so just let them die. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't stick to landing. It really doesn't. It's so even my point being, even the dwarf plotline, it's starting to fade as well. That's my opinion.
For 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 me, I actually like the fact that how it was done in the books. Like for me, if the chat doesn't know, like I never read the books. I just know of some of like the actual plots and stories from the book, but I've never read it. But having the symbolicness of what's it called, the Balrog being the sort of manifestation like of the dwarves' greed. That's actually really cool. Like it's because you kept digging, it was never enough, and then like I actually like that. I actually really like the reasoning why. Like, oh, why do you always have to add a backstory to something that's already like pre-established? It's it's just that they're trying to basically make something. Hey, you remember this thing in the book? Like, let's actually add more story to it that makes it like not as impactful anymore, right? It's because we
Mm-hmm.
always known that the dwarves were greedy, like especially if you watch The Hobbit, like all three of the films. It actually shows that like what's it called again? What's it called again? I believe it was Thranduil. Was which I think that's his name. Which is Legolas's father, saying that the dwarves are greedy. Like you guys are greedy, and it's like, and that's the reason why like we don't like working with you. You just want to you want to get back into the lonely mountain and get back all the gold and the treasure and stuff like that, and the Arkenstone or whatnot. And you guys are greedy. But now in this show, they're trying to add something that's like, well, the reason why he did it is because of his bromance and stuff like that. And I see it, and someone in the chat's like, but I love their bromance though. Yeah, like for me, it's I'm not saying I don't like it. I just think I just think
Yeah.
it's funny. I think it's funny, and it's the heaviest leaf ever. And the leaf, the leaf doesn't even touch the Balrog. No, it just
No,
falls right in front of him and it wakes him up.
exactly.
Just literally like, what was that? It's like it's sort of like what's it called again? You ever watch Emperor's New Groove? Like it's a Disney
Oh
movie
yeah,
with,
yeah. A
with a
long time
kid.
ago, yeah.
And like like so he gets to turn into a alpaca or a llama, right? And he goes into
Yeah, it
like
does.
the forest with like a bunch of panthers, and then this is like a squirrel is like and he's like makes all these noise and then blows up a balloon, and then he goes ha, and then that wakes them all up. It's just like that's how it feels like.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
cartoon.
Exactly. It feels like a cartoon. I was about to say like Patrick from SpongeBob. Like I know there was an episode that SpongeBob was trying to make sure he doesn't get awake. So I was about to describe it like that.
Yeah, it's you have that, and then oh my god, one so there's another scene that I knew that we all know that place was called Mordor, but I hate how they revealed it.
Mhm.
Right? You so after everything, what's it called again? Uh After all the like the Numenorians leave the villages because of the villages all like screwed up now, and then you have Adar and a bunch of the other orcs going to see like what happened, and he's like, all right, cool. Hail Adar, the Lord of the Southlands or something. And then he's like, no, this place is something else now. It's called something else. And I was like, don't you fucking dare do it. Don't you and he says the Southlands, and all of a sudden it just like fades away and
Yeah,
this fucking Mordor comes out. And I was like,
Mordor.
I wish there was some better way for them to come up with that. Maybe like there's an ancient like I rather have it like how when Durin was talking to Elrond, and he's like, do you know what this stone is? He's like, oh, I actually know what this is. It's in ancient like elven tongue. It's like it's pronounced Mithril. I wish they did something like that. It's like in ancient elven, this land was once called Mordor or something like that when some shit happened. But it's just this one is just, oh, we're just gonna call it
Yeah,
Mordor now.
exactly. It was even better for me if Adar just said it rather than the
Mhm.
text changing. I would have preferred Adar said. I mean, everyone was expecting. I think Adar was gonna
Mhm.
say it, but then it's switched to from Southland. So like it would have been more creative. It's like Adar was telling a story of some ancient text, like you mentioned, like
Mhm.
ancient Elven times or events of the past, or like he's reading it in some scroll. Then it says
Mhm.
it there, like in this time it used to be called more it says in the scroll of Mordor or something like that. It could have been more
Mhm.
creative if that was the case. But yeah, it's like it's so cringe that they changed the sound to Mordor.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
man. I don't know. Like I thought that this episode was just there's a lot of things that happen, right? It's all like fluff and no substance, right? It's just it looks great. Like there's some scenes that looks great. The what's it called again? It looks good. It's just like for me, I just don't care. I still don't care. After 7 episodes in, I really don't don't care, but we're still watching it. And we have one more episode, and to be honest, like I think I think it's sort of like we're probably not gonna ever like Galadriel. If we are, it's probably gonna be like I don't know in mid season 2 or something. Maybe they're
Probably.
like it's because this is already done. Like we already know this is done already, and they're probably like getting a lot of feedback. I'm pretty sure they are already started filming season 2 already.
Yeah, they already did. They already did.
Okay, yeah, so
It's
I'm pretty sure
confirmed.
they're getting a bunch of like feedback, reading a bunch of articles and hearing like the reviews saying that how Galadriel is unlikable and stuff like that. I don't know, but I have here's what I think is gonna happen in the next episode. I did not see the the trailer for episode 8. Given that Halbrand Sauron Halbrand, I thought that he got fucked up because like he was literally in bed. He was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't move. I can't
Yeah.
move. You know, my stomach is fucked up. And then next scene he literally walks out and gets on a horse.
Yeah. That's
And
that's and it's so strange to me.
mhm,
Out of all the people, everyone's injured, everyone's dead from the same thing. Everyone's at the same cause. It's the volcano. It's Mount Doom.
mhm.
Everyone got injured with the same reason, but he is the only one who needs elven medicine.
Yeah.
He's the only one who needs elven medicine.
May,
Like what?
may,
Why?
maybe he's the one that's like you know that in episode 8 they're gonna be fucking. You know it, I know it,
Yeah,
everyone knows it. All
yeah,
right.
and that thing also that's pointed out by Lord of the Rings fans. They don't
Mhm.
have concept of time. From where they are, it takes to get to the Elven lands on horseback. It takes months to get to the Elven lands on horseback. So you mean to tell me he's gonna make it all the way back there with his injury,
he
and he needs
he
Elven medicine?
Galadriel is secretly like like Lord Varys from Game of Thrones, where because a lot of people, there was rumors saying that Lord Varys, how's he traveling from like Dorne to like Dragonstone to like all these other places, because Lord Varys is a mermaid. That's the reason why. Maybe that's the reason why I don't know, he's really fast.
Yeah, chat.
Has
Yeah,
season 2 been
season 2
approved?
has been approved, chat.
Yeah.
That's why the budget for this, I'm sure you guys have heard, it's 1 billion. It's already 500 million per episode per season. So
Yeah.
imagine it's if you divide 500 million by 8, I computed it. It's 62.5 million an episode. So
Yeah.
every
It's a
episode
lot.
you're watching is worth 62.5 million.
Yeah, which is insane.
It's just insane.
I have a feeling that I would say the next episode is like I'm gonna bring you back to the Disney's elvish medicine, right? It sort of reminds me of like when Frodo got stabbed by the Morgul blade, right? And that
Yeah,
requires, it's like we can't use regular medicine, we need, and that makes sense. Like this is like a
that makes
blade from like the
sense.
past. This is like an
Mhm.
ancient blade. Like we don't know how
That's
this
a
how
well
this shit works.
prepared blade that's meant to kill.
And then you have this one. What, maybe he got hit by a Morgul boulder or something like that. And then what's gonna happen? She's gonna bring him back. He's gonna get healed, and then she's gonna visit him while on his bedside. He said, "I shouldn't have done this to you, and I'm sorry. I coerced you and extorted you into coming to the Southlands, even though you said you never wanted to come back. I'm sorry, I persuaded you to go. I'm a terrible person." And he's like, "No, you're not. You're my terrible person." And then, "I have died every day. Wait." Start like making love. And then and, and then at the end of that, at the end of episode 8, you find out that she finds out that he is Sauron, and then bump bump. That's how it ends. I have a feeling that's how it's gonna end, man. Yeah. Oh my god, billions. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
a lot of
So
money.
yeah, it's even before the release of the first season, it's already been established. Like it's 2 seasons. For the 2 seasons, we're gonna spend 1 billion. Yeah, I know companies like to it's already on the get go that they already decided that it'll be 2 seasons at first, but then they like to market it like, oh, look, it's been approved for season 2, but in actuality, it's already been planned from the very beginning that there's gonna be 2 seasons at least. Yeah, so it's the same thing here for the series.
Oh man. Oh,
Yeah,
oh man. I hope they get better writers. I hope this ties more into the book. It has to.
yeah, it has
Um,
to. It has to.
it's I I wasted 7 hours. We have both wasted 7 hours watching this thing, and we're
Yeah,
just literally talking shit about it.
you know the funny thing about Angry Joe's review? He didn't even know it was just 8 episodes. He was under the impression it was like 10 to 12. So I was like,
Mhm,
he in the last in his final review, I think it was uploaded yesterday. Like he was
mhm,
so it's like I was so like he was rectifying all his reviews in the previous episodes. Like I was wrong. I was being too optimistic on this because he really thought there was a couple of more episodes. So, like maybe they're taking their time to build it up. But he just found out a couple of days ago that next week is the last episode. Holy shit, this is a terrible series. This is a bad series.
It's
So he went
awful.
back. So it's like episode 1, I gave it a 7. Now it's a 5. In episode 5, I gave it a 5. Now it's a 3. So he went back to all of his episodes and downgraded all of them.
Yeah.
It's
And
really funny.
and I I had a feeling that what's it called again? They weren't gonna kill they weren't gonna kill what's her face Bronwyn, right? It's like
Ah,
they did like a fake out, right? Like she goes inside and he's like, "Mother," and then like the lady turns around, is not, and he looks down on the bed and he's like, and then they're just like, "You don't know." I'm not gonna kill her
the,
off, man.
the, the,
I'm not gonna kill
you
her
know
off.
what's even messed up about that scene?
Hmm.
Did she never bother to look for Theo?
No.
right, right, right. It's like, oh, Theo's dead, so I can get it on with Aaron Deere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what?
It's like, okay, it's Adam Deer here. All right, good. Well, what about your son?
Okay,
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
doesn't
Who
matter.
mothers' instincts to take care of their sons and daughters? Nah, who cares
Nah.
about that? It's all about agenda. I feel a lot of stuff like this is happening everywhere on media. In my opinion, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. That there's a lot of things they're literally pushing things to make it more what's it called again, more 21st century, like revolves around our
I,
current day
yeah,
politics, which
yeah,
is
identity
dumb.
politics for sure,
Mhm.
especially Galadriel. You can really see that with Galadriel.
Yeah,
Yeah, eh,
and yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna add with Bronwyn, like in the end, in the final episodes, like so Galadriel's like Galadriel and Arondir. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what will you do now? So she's like saying, we're gonna go to this old Numenor colony. There's gonna be fresh land and water. So it's like, why didn't you just go there to begin with? Why did you settle in that rackety village and fight against an army of orcs? Why did you just run there?
Dumb writing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why didn't you go there to begin with?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about Bronwyn.
Oh, man,
Terrible.
there are a lot of things. I I hope. I don't think it's gonna get better. I think it's gonna get worse than it is. It's probably gonna get worse. But the thing is that, like, I hope that this is like the bottom of the barrel already, and and moving forward, it's just gonna get better. I'm not sure
Yeah, let's hope
if
so.
it will. I hope that the what was it, JD Payne and Patrick McKay or something like that. I hope the director is literally like, okay, yeah, the fans are not liking this, and we already spent so much money on this series. Let's make sure that this is actually good and start listening to the fans. Bring back the Tolkien scholar that we fired, and hopefully things get better. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I feel that it'll get worse. I have a feeling too. I think they're gonna rush everything. I think the reason why, I have a feeling why they made Galadriel like husband, like a widow, made her a widow. I think the reason why is because moving like media nowadays, you can't have what's it called again, like a woman getting their powers from a man, or you can't have like a woman like being tied down by you can't have a woman being tied down by a man either. So I have a feeling it's like if they completely remove Celeborn from the series, she has more freedom to do whatever she wants, right? And it will also make her more they can actually make her like a warrior. It's because even though the original story she never was a warrior or anything like that, um I think having her like tied down and have a kid is just like, oh, this again, we don't want this, and let's actually write some stuff that's not mentioned in the book to sort of give her more of a new fresh take for nowadays. Is because and I this is what I hate about pop culture and media so far. Whenever they say that they want a strong female, why do they always have to make him like manly or like equivalent to a man?
mm,
Either really buff, or they're just like, it's like females can be strong in their own ways. Like
yeah,
whether
exactly.
it's like a maternity kind of thing, or more of a nurturing thing, or maybe like a strong household female. Like, for instance, I know that in a lot of media, like maybe like couple of the old movies I saw, like usually in like I think I was watching, I think Luke Cage or something like that, one of the Marvel shows, and I believe like there is a section of a Harlem or something like that, that it's run by a powerful female character, and that female character is like the one who keeps everyone like out of the streets, make sure they're not getting into trouble, and making sure that they're good. And so when you actually see her, she's in the kitchen cooking. Is because who else is gonna cook? And she's making sure like all the kids are being fed, all the people that comes into her house are being fed, are being taken care of. And she's not like, taking on the like I'm like you can have strength in that way. You don't have to have strength.
Exactly.
Strength is how you see it, right? Just because like Galadriel, so we have to make her strong, so we got to give her armor, we got to give her sword, and we have to make her like a badass. It's like she doesn't have to be strong that way. Why do you have to make her strong
Exactly.
like how a typical male character is strong? It's
Exactly.
that's how the way they're doing it. And I I they have to fix her character. If
Yeah.
not, season 2 is going to get even worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed with you there. Like,
Mhm.
if they put in Celeborn and her children, I don't know how many children she gets, but her children, that's gonna
Mhm.
make it a lot more colorful in terms of her character. Like, of course, there's gonna be friction, a dynamic, like problem with Celeborn not approving of her decision. Then they're gonna talk it out. They're gonna explain, like Galadriel, explaining her side, her reasoning. That's gonna make it a lot more relatable to people because that's
Mhm.
real, because they want to put real life in this. So if you're gonna put real life in it, it might as well be that way, like family dynamics, because we all know that
Mhm.
we don't 100% get along with our family members because somewhere
Yeah.
along the way we argue, we fight, we don't agree with each other's decisions. That's
Mhm.
something that's far more relatable and far more how should I say it, strong in a way that you're saying, not necessarily the alpha male strong that they're building up here in this series. Which so
Mhm.
yeah, definitely agreed.
Oh man, I'm. It's sort of like I've already like sunk so much time into this. It's like I might as well just finish. Why might as well just finish it, even though like I'm upset. I might as well just go ahead and finish the series. We have one more episode. Hopefully they don't like, oh, let's, you know how like Game of Thrones would like take a break in the middle, like it's I wouldn't take a break and then we're gonna come back or something like that. I just get this done over with and then just move on. And then we still have what I think Game of Thrones has about like, oh, House of the Dragon has like about like 2 more episodes. So
Yeah,
I'm
two more,
looking
two
forward
more.
to that. But all right.
Wait, one more thing.
All right.
they they did Elendil incredibly dirty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. That final moment, it was hilarious. Like Miriel was like, Captain, Captain.
My baby boy. He made him so weak.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, now,
exactly.
now, now that Muriel is blind and like she can't see anything, I can actually let my emotional damage come out, right?
My
Yeah.
son.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's bad.
I'm pretty sure that's not Elendil in the books, 100%.
No, no. All right, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and we get this out of the way, and with that, let's go ahead and actually talk about let's go and talk about Andor, right? And so what do you think about this episode? I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah, same thing. So I think I'm seeing the pattern already. How they're doing it. It's like every 3 episodes is the adrenaline part. So
Hmm.
episode 4 and 5 was spent on building the ambush on the garrison.
Hmm.
So this episode is mainly more about building the dynamic of the team, disseminating their distrust with each other, eventually leading to trusting each other because they were more honest with each other. Like Skeen was talking about why he's angry against the Empire because his brother, the Empire took his farmlands and eventually he died. This is
Hmm.
my understanding. Then the lieutenant got a demotion for falling in love with a local woman. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like the part that they're building up the stories of each of these people. Why
Hmm.
they have a vendetta against the Empire.
Hmm.
Then I also like the senator, her dynamic with her daughter and with the husband. So you can see that this she's not in good terms with them because probably either she's yeah the usual family
She's always
dynamic where
working, right?
yeah she's always working or maybe she's too authoritative, something like
Hmm.
that. But yeah, overall it's building up to be pretty good. Same thing with trusting with Cassian more because they didn't really. I think they were talking about an escape plan, that they didn't have a concrete escape plan. But Cassian's like, oh, you didn't have a plan for this. Oh, you have to do this and that, this and that. Then I'll be the one to do it since you guys don't know how to do it. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of liking the relationship building overall in this. So yeah, and also okay, the last thing is Karn. Karn. So yeah, I was right that he'll be back. So he's back in his mom's house talking about what he will do next. So
Mhm.
there'll be more on that with Uncle Harlow, whoever that is. Just because his mom's hyping up about Uncle Harlow. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Man, yeah, I remember that the episode starts off with what's it called again? Like him, like sitting at the dinner table with his mom.
Mhm.
And of course, like the mom gives him cereal. I was like, when the mom poured like that little thing into the box, I was like, you hear like that. I was like, is that cereal? And then of course she pours some blue milk in there, because it's got to be Star Wars, right? Pours the blue milk, and I'm like, the mom is basically talking crap about him. He's like, this is what happens when you don't listen to me. Did you, did you train anyone or something like that? Did anyone come before you? And just literally like I think almost majority of Asian parents were like that. It's just like, did you do this? It's like, no. Why didn't you? I told you. Now you're coming back. You're coming back to the house now, and I told you not to do this. Now I have to get your uncle involved. Now your uncles have to do this, and it's like, man, I told you not to do this. I told you not to. It's sort of like you're getting berated by her, and I think
Uh-huh.
like I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because it's like I can actually see like like my mom or my dad saying that to me, and then they're just saying
Mm-hmm.
that he's like, hey Philip, I told you to
100%.
be, I told you to become a doctor, I told you to become a lawyer and stuff like that, and you went to become an art, you went to be be an artist. What an idiot. And then it's sort of like, imagine if your parents told you not to do something
Mm-hmm.
and you did it anyways. You go out there, and then but the thing is that you lost your job, so you have no money, you have to leave your apartment and your house or whatever, and you have to go back home and move into your parents. And then your parents is like, I told you so. And I believe having that failure is like, I know a lot of people would rather live homeless, live a low homeless life than go back and receive that type of that type of treatment from their parents. It's just
Mm.
but the thing is that it's sort of like it's if he feels very grounded in terms of like where he is. And I do feel that he is gonna get a second chance of like maybe getting back maybe getting back into like the working directly for the empire instead.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I didn't really like that. I actually really liked I forgot this character's name, the naked dude.
Scheme.
Yeah, Skeen. Okay, I actually really like this character, even though like I knew that he's not trusting of him, right? Because you're basically working with a band of like terrorists. Basically, everyone here is a terrorist, and but the thing is that they're doing terrorism for good, right? They're thinking
Mm.
that they're doing it for good, as we can tell in the future. And I believe this is the first time in the series we actually heard the word rebellion, right? And I actually liked it. Like you can see like Cassian's like trying to hide his necklace, the what's it called, the Kaiba, the sky Kaiba, the Kaiba
Yeah,
crystals.
yeah.
And 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 correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Kyber crystals are the crystals that are used to make lightsabers, right? I
Oh
think
yeah, I didn't think of
I think
that.
those are the
I
crystals
think
that
so.
are inside.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
so.
you have the scene, and then like of course like you see him like don't move or I'll cut your neck, and then he steals the necklace. I knew you had this, 20,000 credits and stuff like that. You had this around, and then and then you see, okay, previous episode, I forgot her name already. I guess like the leader of this group, the blonde chick. I'm like,
Vel.
why do I know her face and I do not like her face? Why? It's not because of I was like, I hate her face for one reason, and I'm like, who is she? Who is she? So I actually Googled her, and she played, I forgot her name, but she played the girl that was hunting Arya Stark in the maskless, the faceless people in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
you remember that there was a blonde chick that was like teaching Arya how to fight to become a faceless person?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes,
that was
yes.
her that was trying to kill her. And I'm like, oh, that's why
Oh.
I don't like you. But I digress. But in terms of his character though, it's like she's like, give the thing back to him. This is not what we're here for. And then later on, like he gets a somewhat apology. I'm like, I actually like his character. I'm like, he's like, hey, the reason why I'm not trustworthy is because my brother died. He took his own life because of the Empire. I hate the Empire, and I don't trust anyone. And that's the apology you're gonna get from me. And I'm like, man, I like that. I like that character
Mm,
build.
mm.
I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing the Rings of Power doesn't get. Like, it's these seemingly small details about these characters that make them far more relatable and likable.
yeah,
They're doing a far better
absolutely,
job.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I um I do really like it this a lot. It's because you're not like how many characters you're actually focusing on, right? You have maybe like maybe I would say like 3 to 4 characters in this group out of like the 6 that are like I would say like they're focusing on more. They're focusing on Skeen, of course, Cassian, and you focus on you focus on the blonde girl, and then you focus on the what lieutenant, and then you focus on
Yeah.
and you focus on the what's it called again, the guy who brought him here. I forgot his name, and then you have the couple other people, and it's like maybe at most you have maybe like around 12 people you're probably focusing on,
Mm,
and like you don't have to explain too much to know where they're coming from, and sometimes you should have the audience come up with the conclusion themselves, right? Sometimes we don't like being spoon fed. Hey, remember this? Yeah, this is actually this is called Mordor. Hey, this is Mordor. Like we don't need we're not that dumb where we
mm,
actually need to get spoon fed. Why can't you just know that your audience is not as stupid as yes you think they are? And sometimes there's things that is you don't need to say it. It's because sometimes when I'm watching something, like especially Lord of the Rings, since I don't know too much about the story, I'm like, "Hey, who, what's Numenor? What is that?" And then I would go and ask my friend. And it's like, oh, Numenor is land of this, and that place got destroyed. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's actually in the books. I was like, oh, really? I actually want to learn more about it. So then you go on and do your own research, and then you're
mm,
like, holy crap, there's a bunch of shit that happened in the book that I like some yeah, it's some things are better left unsaid, and some things it's better left not knowing and just letting it go and just having it play out. Like you don't have to answer every single question, which I like about the show. Right, there's still a mystery behind all of these characters. Is because
mm.
Cassian, we know he has a sister and he's from this small village. That's about it. Like we don't
Yes.
we know and as we don't know much about him, but I like that mystery. Right, same thing with like Han Solo. Why do people like him? Is because like he's sort of like a cowboy, like space cowboy kind of thing. And they didn't have to have the Han Solo movie for people to like him. It's like, but when they made the Han Solo movie, people got upset about it is because you made some things are really stupid. So that's why I like this. They're not giving Cassian like, oh, remember this? That's the reason why Cassian had that. Like I don't need any of that. And it's going good so far.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
Yeah. I
what's it
think the
called again?
exciting part will be in
Yeah.
the next episode next week. The actual rating of the garrison.
Yeah. I think I 100% agree with you. It's I think yeah, every 2 episodes there's like setup, and then the payoff happens in the 3rd episode, and I think the next episode is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, it's sort of like like when we have something good to say about a certain show or something like that, it's like relatively short. It's like yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I want to see what's coming up next. I like the characters. Um, it's what's it called again? I want to see Karn. I want to see more. I have a feeling that the Skeen guy will probably most likely die in the next episode. Maybe if he does die, he's probably gonna die protecting Cassian. I have a
Yeah.
feeling. And it's like
Yeah.
because
Agreed.
he sort of has like a redemption arc already. Like you don't like him, and then you're sort of like, oh shit, this is actually what happened. Now I do like him, and then now it's all wrapped up. Now we can actually end his character in the next episode. Yeah, I'm excited for the next episode. Yeah, yeah.
Same.
Likewise. This is good, man.
Mhm.
So, was there anything else that we missed? I know you tend to take notes. So, was there anything else that we missed in this episode?
Um. Yeah. The thing with Andor is because it's 30 minutes, so it's like it's more of like minute detail to minute detail. That's why it's hard for
Mhm.
us to expound on it.
Yeah,
But well, it dead Deidre, the blonde girl in the Empire. So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
she's digging some more. So my
Mhm.
take is it's still the same as last week. I think she's eventually gonna reach out to Karn. Like,
Mhm,
yeah, I think you did the right thing. I think you did the proper investigative work. So I'm bringing you back in. That's my
mhm,
theory, that he'll be brought back into the Empire.
mhm.
But that's I think that's about it. Yeah, that's in terms of mate. Yeah, Luthen, the guy who recruits Cassian, is like
Mhm.
he only gets one short final scene. Like he's worried about how it will turn out,
Mhm.
the rating of. But that's other than that, I think we covered everything, pretty much everything of the
Yeah.
episode.
Man, yeah, it's yeah, next episode, we're definitely gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about it, but oh man. All right. So, when did you watch what's it called again? House of the Dragon. Did you watch it recently? Like a couple of days ago?
Yeah, yeah. I think the date. No, no, no. I think around Tuesday, somewhere around Tuesday. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, really, really good. It keeps getting in better and better. It's like it keeps like I was thinking, okay, maybe it'll slow down in this episode, but no, it
Mhm,
keeps getting better and better for me. It's like all the characters, the overall story, it
mhm.
keeps keeps stepping up the bar. Unlike the other one, unlike the other TV series.
Yeah. Man, so what the episode starts off with what's it called again? The funeral, right?
Yeah, now we know why. Now we know why they killed her off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, so it starts off with the funeral, and clearly what's it called again? Lenor isn't there. It's because he's probably really sad, probably drinking. I'm not
Mhm.
sure how close he was to his sister, but he wasn't there. And like, did you know? I guess a lot of people were trying to speculate why Damon laughed, but like, you know that part, yeah, he sort of chuckled, right? When I think
Mhm.
they were sort of like saying like the final like thoughts or prayers or something like that, and he sort of chuckled, and I wonder, it's like, if he's chuckling is like, of course this is gonna happen to me or something like that. Like, do you feel like it's like
Uh,
that?
I'm basing this on a Facebook meme actually that I saw I think last night.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with Rhaenyra, and
Okay.
because the guy preaching is about our blood is thick, our blood is pure. I think it was
Mhm.
meant to insinuate something with Rhaenyra, because yeah,
Hmm.
because we know Rhaenyra's children are not of they're not actually, well, they're bastards. So I think
Hmm.
I forgot the name of the uncle of Laenor, but yeah, he was. I think he was trying to insinuate something to Rhaenyra. That's why
Hmm.
Daemon laughed, like Daemon mockingly laughed at him, because
Okay.
I think that's what it's supposed to be like, because we know what happens already by the end of by the end of this episode. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was Daemon mocking him back about it, something like
Mhm.
that. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Um, and then it moves forward with what's it called again? Uh, I think they the uncle or something like that, or no, that Corliss was like, go get my son, and then he goes, and so you sort of like get introduced to that, like it's sort of like his handler or something like that. It's sort of like the person that follows him around, and I'm like, huh, I've never seen that guy before. I wonder if he's important, and 100% he's super important by the end of the show, but by the end of the episode. And then of course you get I'm not sure if I'm jumping the gun here, but like it's like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed, and you see like Aegon, he's like getting drunk, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
getting
he.
drunk, and he's like 16 or 17 or something like that. He's like getting drunk, and you see what's it called again? You see this scene right here. You see Damon and Rhaenyra basically like walking the beach,
Mhm.
and I'm like, they're gonna fuck soon. That's
Uh-huh,
how I felt.
like
They, yo,
when she told her children to go to bed and she followed them, I was like, oh yeah, yeah,
Mhm. yo, yo,
it's
yo, yo,
happening,
yo,
it's
they,
happening.
yo, if they ain't at the funeral, yo, they be fucking. So
Mhm,
that's how
mhm.
I felt.
Yeah.
And of course, they stayed out the entire night, right? Stayed on the
Mhm.
entire night, and we already had a feeling that it was gonna happen. And it's just sort of like, and given that Damon was sort of like, I guess you would say, groomed her, right? Groomed her from the start, like sort of when she was younger, sort of giving her like things that he would say to her, and then sort of like blue balling her at the brothel, right?
Mhm.
Getting her all like, oh, I'm excited for you, and then she actually says, hey, I'm not married yet. Why don't you take me before I get married? And then now you have this scene. It's obviously it's like it's definitely like the first time you sort of like meet them and they interact with one another, like you get definitely felt the tension. And then it goes to one of my favorite parts in this episode. So much disrespect
Which
during
is
Lena's funeral.
yeah,
This
true.
all happened the day of her funeral.
Uh-huh.
And it's like her body isn't even her body was torched, right? And then now they buried her and they drop her into the ocean. And it's like her body isn't even like super cold yet, and then like your husband sleeping with someone else, and then someone steals your dragon, right? And that's what I
Yeah.
actually really liked. I actually really liked the fact that when we were talking to Dave last time, and he was like, oh yeah, you'll see what's coming. And having Amond, who's the middle child, getting the biggest dragon, right? Getting the biggest
Mhm.
dragon, and then like you see him struggle, and he actually like was able to mount the dragon properly, and then like and then you have like the two Damon's kids come out, and it's like, that was supposed to be my dragon. That was my
Mhm.
mom's dragon. Like, well, no one claimed him, so it's mine
That's
now. This
something
dragon
that's
belongs to
to
me.
me.
And then like that fight between the kids, I thought someone was gonna die. I actually thought someone was gonna die there, but it didn't, which is which is actually good. And but yeah, this episode was great all around.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. What was
Yeah,
your thoughts on what happened between the kids? Do you think it was like justified, like especially what happens leading up with the parents?
yeah, yeah. The what happened with the kids was kind of like the catalyst. Like, like Lena's death was abrupt. Now we know why. It's like last week. It's like we like Lena so much. Why did she have to die? It's like she could have been more. Okay, this episode explains why. Well, it's because this
Yeah,
is for the event that led everyone that brought literally the entire cast together.
yeah,
Everyone
I
was
actually
there.
love that.
Literally everyone. So it's like I like the part. I like even just the subtle details. Like after the ceremony, like everyone's interacting with each other. You can see
Hmm.
Egon not with Amon, Egon being the drunkard carefree kid compared
Hmm.
to Amon like because Egon was like disrespecting Helen, the daughter of Allison, the daughter
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
Allison.
yeah,
Then it's
yeah.
like, oh, she's stupid. She's not a good queen. Like Eamon was like, she's gonna be your queen, so you have to support her all the way. So I
Mhm.
kind of like that tension, that dynamic. You can see the difference between the siblings, the tension
Yeah.
between Rhaenyra's uh children and Rhaenyra and Allison's children. You can see that they're not getting. Aemon was even walking through one of them. I think it was Lucerys, or what? It
Yeah.
was Jace or Lucerys. Like Lucerys was like looking at him really badly, like giving him the
Mhm.
stare. So Aemon
Mhm.
went away. So I really like those tiny details. Like
Mhm.
like something's gonna happen down the line. So by the time that they're fighting, it's like, okay, at worst someone's gonna get critically injured. So which happened,
Yeah.
which Aemon lost his eye
Yeah.
because
Pocket
I
sand.
then the knife, oh, my
Yeah.
eye. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the actual bloodbath starts when they're all grown up, when they have more political power, when they have more.
Oh yeah.
That's more interesting than beating each other up as children. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah. Like that doesn't be pretty cool. I
yeah.
Something in chat says I cheered for Amon, but he then he seemed to get cocky. Yeah. True. True.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was done intentionally. That was written
Mhm.
really well because like especially now he has the biggest dragon.
Yeah.
It'll get in his head that, oh yeah, I'm a dragon rider now. I have the biggest dragon in the realm. So
Yeah.
for sure it's gonna get on his head, and it's gonna do something foolish or rash. So
Mhm.
yeah, excited about
Absolutely.
that one too. Hmm.
Yeah. Like the part I really thought that was crazy was like my favorite part of the whole episode was probably the where like sort of like after the kids got their fight, right? It's like what happened, and then like Allison was like what happened, and all the kids come and all the family got woken up in the middle of the night, and then what happened? The king was like talking to this, like what happened? It's like, oh, your like Allison was like our son like maimed for life. He lost an eye, and he's like, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm fine. And then it's like, holy shit, man. It's like it. I'm just trying to think about like what's going through her head. She's probably extremely pissed off. And then you have like, oh, they called us bastards. Like he called us bastards, and then he's like, what? And then and you can tell during this time the king is literally like, you can feel like he does not hold the power or the presence as much as he should, right? It's like, imagine if Robert Baratheon was the person who was talking instead. Like he would command the room, versus him, he's like quiet, right? And he's like, Aegon, I mean Aemond, what exactly happened, right? And then he's like, did you call them bastards and stuff like that? And then of course, like, and the crazy thing is, he's like, who told you this? And then he's like, my older brother. And then the older brother's like, who told you this? He's like without ratting it out, because you can see he looks at Alicent, Aegon looks at Alicent, and Alicent was like, and then he's like, just look at them, everyone knows. And the thing is that the king knows too, but he does not want to accept it, right? Like Viserys knows exactly what's happened, but he does not want to accept this because he's blinded by love for his own daughter. And then it's like, and then he's like, oh, everyone go to bed, this is over. And then man, I felt bad for Alicent. It's like, because if that's the same situation that I was in, and it's like let's say my sister's kid like permanently injures my son or my daughter, where they're like either lost a limb or lost an eye. I'm like, I need an eye for this. Like, this needs to be paid. But the king is so blinded is because like, it's literally your wife or your daughter. Which one would it be? And they're both, no matter what, may it be bastard or not, they're still your grandkids. And it's just like, she's like, I'll do it myself. And then the crazy part was like, Sir Kristen Cole, do it. And then he's like, and it's like, no, he swore his allegiance to me. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is fucking intense. And of course nothing happens. And it's just, man, it's just like, you feel bad for Alicent, but then of course you have Aemond who was like, don't worry, mom, I'm fine. We got the biggest dragon. I think it's worth it. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely absolutely worth it. It's because it's not just a dragon, it's the biggest dragon.
The biggest one.
Right. So we have someone in the chat that says, I still like him though. It's good to see characters be dynamic, whether they become good or bad. Sirius threatens Alicent too. Yeah,
for
sure. Yeah. So it's just, holy crap! Like that's my favorite scene. And then you have the following scene. It's just like the secret wedding.
Yeah. And also like so because I said last podcast, like Alicent was kind of like, she kind of personifies Otto already back when Otto before he left King's Landing. So apparently, I think it's correct, because like in this episode, when Otto, who's now Hand of the King again, he got reinstated as Hand of the King. Like, he goes to Alicent like, yeah, I did not expect you'd be like that. It's like, I'm proud of you.
He was proud, right? Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
he's like, my daughter.
Nah, you know how to play the game now. So I'm like, he's like, okay, we can win this now. And he also says Aemond also did a good thing. Like, he got us a dragon. It's a good deal. Yeah. Yeah. So
okay, so so one scene that I really liked too was the fake out at the end. And it's like,
okay.
Like you can tell, right? It's like right before the whole ending scene, you see like a what's it called again? So Laenor shows up. He's like, oh, I should have been there. I'm sorry. I'm gonna dedicate 100% of my life towards us and the family. I'm gonna do my best. Where like they're still my sons. You know, I still want to make sure that they're good. And I'm like, damn, like, I actually really like Sir Laenor. Like, he's actually giving up their original agreement that they had years ago, to try and, you know what, I want to make sure everything is good. But she's like, what about, you know, your side piece, your lover, and he's like he's gonna be going to the stepstones, and he's like I'm gonna stay here, and then you're like, oh man, shit, what's gonna happen? He's like, okay, all right, cool, and you're like, damn man, I actually feel bad for him, and then of course you have Rhaenyra and Damon and start talking. He's like, yeah, but what about you're still married? He's like, yes, I really Sir Laenor is good and all, but like if we want this to happen, like we need to do something about it.
Mhm.
And then it cuts to the scene. I believe he was talking to her about like how you can actually go to what's it called again? Where's the place that they wanted to Essos or something? What
Yeah, I think he was trying to bribe Laenor's paramour Karn
yeah.
to go there. But
Yeah.
initially, they made the audience think in exchange he has to kill Laenor. That's what everyone
Mhm.
thought. Like Laenor was supposed to be killed, but then in the very end, it's like apparently, oh yeah, Laenor lives, and they both run away together. So that's what they were planning the whole time.
Yeah, man,
But I think in the books he was actually killed. That's
oh
I was
shit,
about to.
really?
Yeah, I think I could be wrong. Chat can correct me on that. I think that's the deviation from the books.
Mhm.
Because that the reason why they set up the scene with Laenor saying I want to be a good husband is so
Mhm.
that they could set it up that he lives instead of dying.
Mhm.
I think that's why. So
Okay.
because that's I'm pretty sure that's the because I heard somewhere or read somewhere that there's a big deviation from the books in this episode. So I think
Mhm.
it's that scene. It's Laenor. It's Laenor actually living, but in actuality, he was actually killed by he was actually assassinated so that these two can get married. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Damon,
Okay.
Damon and Rhaenyra.
Yeah, to be honest, that's something that I'm okay with. Like I know they deviated from the books, but I think I'm okay with that because I actually really like
Yeah,
Sir Laenor.
yeah.
So someone in chat says I don't hate Rhaenyra, but I am Team Alicent. Okay, so here's my questions to you, Grae. Are you Team Rhaenyra or Team Alicent?
I it's actually kind of hard now, but I think it's still more with Allison. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think it's still more with Allison because I think in terms of principle, in terms of Allison's perspective,
Hmm.
she's really in the right. Whereas
Yeah,
to Rhaenyra, she overindulged in her personal pleasures over her duty compared to Allison.
exactly.
She's like Allison was always doing things for the good of the kingdom. Rhaenyra,
Yeah,
she was doing things for her own ends. So
yeah, and that's the thing why I that's what I don't like about I like Rhaenyra. I like I like her sort of like she's conflicted. She's a very conflicting, like she has a conflicting personality, and she's trying to decide whether or not I should do something right or I should do something that's right for me. And I
mhm,
think right now she's sort of like she's already like knee deep into like all the stuff that's already been going on, right? She already has a bunch of kids, a bunch of people died, and it's just sort of like she's just gonna play it out. She's gonna try her best to make sure that she's happy and her well being, and she's basically selfish. And
mhm,
Alicent, on the other hand, is basically trying to do like you said, what's best for the kingdom, what's fair, right? It's not about what's right, it's about what's fair, right? And I want an eye for an eye. Like you can't be like you can't be doing all the stuff that you're doing, is because if you're going to be the next next in line for the throne, like what are you doing? And no matter what, I'm still going to be your queen. So why are you doing all the things you're doing? And and it's just like I wonder if she's gonna go on and do what's it called again, like give into what's her name, Laris, whatever,
Laris, yeah,
yeah,
Laris,
Laris. Like if she's gonna give into his, because he's like, hey, you want me to do something again, I can.
yeah,
And he's like, no,
yeah,
I'm good, right?
yeah.
And then it's like, we already got a fucking dragon, we're good. But like, now that you have this, right now you have the Targaryen house even stronger, especially during the I guess quote unquote secret wedding, right? Because you only have like you have like a maester, and then you have like their kids, and then they get married.
Mhm,
And yeah, their house is gonna get stronger. They're gonna have more kids, and now they're gonna have I'm pretty sure they're gonna have an official like heir that's full blood Targaryen. That's gonna be a boy. That's probably gonna ascend the throne. I'm assuming that's the next step. Um, However, I don't know how far into the future the next episode is. I have seen some screenshots of basically like Aemond and stuff like that, and Aegon and all the other characters, I believe there's another time jump in the next episode.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah, so
I saw a meme on Facebook. It's like
yeah.
Aemon, that dude with an eye patch.
Yeah,
Aemon.
I'm like I don't know this guy, right? So man, it's this show is, it keeps getting better, and that's what I like about this. It's sort of like it hasn't stopped getting better. And like I think every episode has either been as good as the previous one or has gotten better,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
this one was really good. Like like by the end, when I thought, okay, because I thought that I thought Sorlaner died, right? Like, you came
Mhm.
into my house, you killed my son and stuff like that, and I'm like, no, 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 and you can see like the mom is like super sad, and then I'm like, wait, there has to be a reason why they're talking about this, and then I was like, please don't die, please don't die, and of course the guy takes off his hood. I'm like, I literally jumped out of my bed. I'm like, yes, like I was super happy because like I actually really liked him. Like I actually wanted him to have like a good ending, and then like, and the fact that Rhaenyra and Daemon was able to offer him that, like, live how you want. No one cares about names. No one cares about your title. Just be whoever you want, and just the people. And as long as you have money, you should be able to live. You're right about Laenor's death. Also, his sister's death was supposed to be an unknown, possibly by Daemon's hand.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but man, this one is really good so far. I'm really
Yeah,
liking it.
that's the thing. It's like it managed to be so good, even there was no fighting.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
not.
There's
Yeah, it just the interaction with the characters alone. It was really. It's like I was
Mhm.
at my seat, like holy crap, what's gonna happen? It's like in that
Yeah,
in a dinner table. It's like in a gathering of families. Like, oh god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
yeah,
Unlike Rings of Power, it's a battle, and we're like crazy bored.
yeah. But it's funny is because like the past two episodes, like you will like DM me on like Discord. You're like, oh shit, did you see this episode? It's so good. And then like this
Yeah.
again, you're like, oh my god, this episode was crazy. And
Exactly.
like that's how I feel. Like that. I'm not sure. There's sort of like this endorphins or like this rush I get whenever I watch Game of Thrones. It's like, especially when it's like a really good episode. Like, do you remember watching Hard Home for the first time? It's like
Hard home.
it's the one where Jon Snow and the wildlings go to like this place to rescue a bunch of people, and then they get attacked
Oh,
by the whites,
White Walker.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I remember watching that episode. I'm like, holy crap, literally on the edge of my seat. And right now, there's no fighting, just dialogue and exhibition. I'm just like, I'm not getting, of course, to that like full of like endorphins where I'm like super hyped, but this is like pretty damn good. Like my faith is sort of being restored by this sort of like especially this episode. Like I'm like, damn, this is good. I love the whole like backstabbing, and you're not sure what's exactly going to happen versus watching Rings of Power. You're sort of like, okay, we sort of know what's going to happen, and it's like it's not surprising where we're going, right? Maybe it's not to make us hate Rhaenyra and Daemon. Maybe it's we
Maybe, but I would think they something would happen to Lane. Like they plan to put Lanor more in the spotlight. I would think Lanor has a role. I think he's not just gonna run away in some getaway island. I think he's
Mhm.
gonna do more things. At least that's what I think.
No, I definitely hope so. I do like the actor that
Mhm.
plays him. He does a good job. He has he he doesn't have a lot of talking lines or dialogues, but whenever he's in a scene, you can sort of see in his face where he's like his emotions when he emotes, like his is actually well done. Unlike Galadriel, where she's only has like one face.
Exactly.
But man, I'm
RB
looking forward.
RBF.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's episode. But yeah, speaking of all these crazy things that's been happening in Hollywood, I do have a couple of things I do want to talk about. First and foremost, um uh I guess it's like a big controversy for me. Did you ever watch Scooby-Doo growing up?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the OG like Hanna-Barbera stuff, right? Like so I remember in for me, I used to watch a lot of it, and like I would actually like even remember like the intro song for it, and like I loved a lot of the Hanna Barbera stuff. especially in the 60s, 70s. I do like his Tom and Jerry stuff. That's probably my favorite cartoon. But I guess I forgot who it was, but maybe like James Gunn or someone else. But they got the license to it when they I believe they wanted to make Velma like a lesbian, right? A while ago.
Yeah,
Because like it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
recently that was announced that like it's official.
Confirmed,
She's
confirmed.
yeah, she's a lesbian. And I believe they wanted to make her a lesbian originally in the I'm not sure, maybe in the live action adaptation or in one of the series. And I guess like the the studios were like, no, 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 let's not do that. And the thing is that like we always thought that like Shaggy and Velma was a thing or something like that, but it just right now I guess it's official. To be honest, I don't really care. Like I don't really watch like Scooby Doo or cartoons like that anymore. But
Mhm.
I guess one major thing that happened recently, and do you know what's it called again? That there is a new series that they're making that is that's done on HBO Max by Mindy Kaling, which is the girl that played Kelly Kapoor in The Office. She's I think she's like a writer producer now, and I don't think she does a lot of acting, but they're trying to make sure that they get more inclusive. They're trying to make sure that they get more representation in the media
Nice.
that we grew up with. So what they did was they made Shaggy black.
Really?
Yeah. They're basically changing his character. He's not Shaggy anymore. His name is Norville. And they're basically completely replacing his character, which
Oh,
sucks.
oh,
Like it's sort of like
yeah.
Shaggy and Scooby's dynamic was probably my favorite part of the Scooby Doo
Scooby
franchise.
Doo. Yeah, yeah.
And it's just it sucks, right? Shaggy is black in Mindy Kaling's Velma's series on HBO Max. Sam Richardson to voice the character. Mindy Kaling's HBO Max series Velma is taking shape, and new first look images from the adult animated series show a diverse Mystery Inc. gang, including a black version of Shaggy. So yeah, so basically this is gonna be like, imagine if what's it called again? Scooby Doo is rated R. So it's like an adult version with like adult humor and actual adult violence. The remainder of the series cast has been announced, with Sam Richardson playing Norville, aka Shaggy, Glenn Howerton as Fred, and Constance Wu as Daphne. Okay, sure. Combined with Kaling playing the South Asian version of Velma. Yeah, so basically, Velma is also race swapped. I believe she's now what's it called again? She wants a lot of these Hollywood people. They always input and put them inject their own versions into the show. Like they basically like, oh, this person is me. This person is me, and like nothing is sacred anymore in Hollywood. Like if you like something, they're mostly gonna make a remake of it, and that's gonna be trash or garbage, and or just because of identity politics or something. But yeah, the entire cast appeared on stage at the New York Comic Con, according to a Hollywood Reporter. Other members of the cast include Jane Lynch, Wanda Sykes, Russell Peters, Weird Al, Melissa Fumero, Gary Cole, Sherry. Okay, I don't care about these. Frank Welker, also part of the voice acting cast, having voiced Fred in almost every animated Scooby-Doo project since the original 1969. Welker is not voicing Fred this time around, but as a voice acting veteran, Welker has been a wide range of roles in animated projects and has begun voicing Scooby-Doo's in newer adaptations. Yeah, so basically these are the characters. So here's the thing. If we are so inclined to make the characters that the actors are playing the characters them, why not make Daphne Asian too then? Right? If Constance Wu is playing Daphne, why not make Daphne Chinese? Right? Why do we only have to do that for Shaggy and Velma? Why can't we do it for Daphne? What is because those are the characters that we want to change, and Daphne is typical. You already have your white representative right here, Freddie, right? Why can't you change
Yeah.
this too? But I like if you're gonna be so determined to make things consistent, sort of like they changed Apu from Simpsons. It used to be played by Hank Azaria, but they can't have that anymore. It's because they say that is you're basically taking good paying jobs from people who are supposed to play those characters, and you're not that race or you're not that gender. You shouldn't play those characters. So they already took that away from Hank Azaria as Apu, and they already took what's it called again in Family Guy. They changed Cleveland to a black actor is now playing Cleveland. Right, I have no problems with that. But if you're gonna do that and you're gonna espouse what you preach, you should preach what you say, in my opinion. Right? Why replace? Why not just add this to a new character? Because that's all they can do now. They can't. Hollywood cannot come up with anything new. They have to recycle and reuse things that are already pre-existing to make sure that they can get the audience back. To be honest, nobody really watched Scooby-Doo anymore. Like I think a lot of people who did watch Scooby-Doo grew out of it, like myself, like or maybe the people who are now in their like 50s, right, who watched Scooby-Doo when they're a lot younger. No one cares. And the fact that they're doing this, I think it's just okay. Sure, what nothing is sacred. Everything they're gonna change a lot of things, right? Like oh, we're gonna make this character black, we're gonna make this character white, we're gonna make this character well to be honest, they're not gonna make any character white. They're gonna make the characters anything other than white, is because they're saying that Hollywood's predominantly run by white people, so they want to make sure that they put their own versions or their own interpretations into these things that we grew up with. And if it's like, right, there's not this is a trailer, I'm not gonna watch it, but it's just so like degrading, and it's nothing sacred anymore. And it sucks. Like, was there like a cartoon that you like watched as a kid that like you really really enjoyed?
Oh yeah, actually Scooby-Doo was one of them. I remember. It's like before I went to bed in grade 1 or grade 2, it was like the last two cartoons I get to watch before going to bed. It's like this Scooby-Doo and Popeye. Popeye the Sailor Man.
So the thing is that Popeye it's probably gonna be an actual gay sailor now, right? It's like that.
Seriously?
No, I'm just making it up, right? Like they're gonna make him a gay sailor because he's not. Is he sailing or is he sailing? Right. So of course they're gonna make, because he's on the boat all the time and he's with a bunch of other seamen, and most likely they're gonna make Olive Oil, like I don't know, and Brutus is gonna be like some person, and I don't know. Most likely that's what we're gonna do. They're gonna change all these things that we loved and grew up with, and the thing is. We can always, us as an adult, we can always go back to and watch the cluster of stuff that we grew up with, right? Oh, if you don't watch it, if you don't want to watch it, watch the old ones. Go ahead, but it's not for us. It's for the new generation who are getting into it, and then when they watch it, it's sort of like that will eventually overwrite the history, right? So do you remember what race Nick Fury was before before in the original?
In the OG,
yeah.
You mean before Samuel Jackson? I don't know.
Okay, so the original Nick Fury was a white guy. Was a white guy, I believe, like with a mustache or something. Let me actually bring it up really quick. Okay, so let's go ahead. I think he has a mustache, or if not, okay, he has like a beard. So let's go ahead and actually show this really quick. All right, so over here, this is Nick Fury before.
I see.
It should look like that, right? He looks pretty generic, you know. And the thing is that this like they ended up changing him is because Samuel L. Jackson was going to play him, and I think moving forward they changed every rendition of Nick Fury into Sam Jackson's character. It's because he did such a good job. This is something that like, so let's say if you grew up in, I don't know, in the 50s or 60s, and then all you knew was Nick Fury was a white guy that smoked a cigar and that hung out with like Punisher, because there's actually a game called called The Punisher on Sega Genesis, and it's I believe is either done by Konami or Capcom. And it's a fighting game. It's not fighting game. It's a beat 'em up. So you basically play as Nick Fury and Punisher, and you go out and beat a bunch of bad guys. And Nick Fury was white. And then later on, they introduce a new character and they completely race change him and stuff like that. For me, I have no problem with that, especially if it's done tastefully and it's done nicely, right? To be honest, like the new Shaggy and the new Velma could be really, really good, but I don't really care anymore. But the thing is that now when you think of Nick Fury, you think of Sam Jackson, right? You don't think of the old one anymore. And that's what they're trying to do. they're basically removing a lot the characters that we once knew and changing it up for the new age, and then all the old stuff will just die off or just be classics, or it's not like that anymore. I don't mind Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick Fury, but wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, exactly. So like, if you didn't know who Nick Fury was back then, like you wouldn't have known anyways. Like you wouldn't care. It's like, oh yeah, Nick Fury has always been black. It's like, no, he wasn't. They race changed him. And may it be good or bad, I think it should be just it should be talked about. It should be addressed. It's because I think this was very highly well received. It's because Samuel L. Jackson is he's a great actor, and they're like, okay, let's make everything like let's make everything like that now. But a lot of these things that are coming out now are not the same, right? It's like they're basically making that character not because they wanted to make a new character, but they're like, let's change it up because it will get these people mad, right? Like I don't like for me, like they're gonna change up everything. Like these things are not for us anymore, and I have a feeling that like moving forward, like a lot of these things that we grew up with are just not gonna, people won't know them anymore anyways. But that's the reason why I believe a lot of folks, they prefer physical media over digital, is because they cannot change that. Versus digital media, they can always change it. So let's say, oh, I'm gonna go download Spider-Man PS4, and then you're like, oh, I remember when I was playing Spider-Man PS4, the game was really, really fun. And then when you re-download it for PS5, since you have PS5 now, it's like, wait, what happened? Why is the model all different? Where's the old Peter?
No, yeah,
Right?
they did that with Spider-Man.
Yeah, they changed the model. So, man, it sucks. But hey, I haven't seen it yet. I was supposed to see it for what's it called again? A couple streams ago. But have you seen the Super Mario trailer?
Have you seen it? Yeah, I did.
Hey,
I did.
Without saying too much, what did you think about the trailer?
The trailer's good. The trailer's good. I get where some people were get outraged, particularly the voice, but I'm okay with it. Better if Charlie was the voice, but still, overall, I liked it. That's the gist of it. I mean, it's good. It's good. The visual, the art style, everything.
Is it cool? Is it cool if you watch it?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet, so I actually do want to watch it. I heard there's a bunch of memes already of like, or like you're just saying how like his voice is really bad. It's just like everything was good until he spoke or something like that, right?
Yeah, I watched again yesterday, the one you showed in the podcast, the Chris Pratt alleged voice. the one you played.
Was it like that? Hey, I'm walking here. That was so funny. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. I have not seen this yet at all. I hope it's good. I heard this is like the best looking like Mario it has been since and of course a lot of people are saying that like he doesn't have an ass. I guess like the actual like video game model, he has a butt, and this one he doesn't, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's not for me, it's not a big deal, but overall I like it. I'm optimistic about it. I think I'll go see it in theaters.
All right, sweet. All right, let's go and check it out. I have not seen this yet. I know there was like a lot of people were talking about it, but let's go check it out. Crap, there's no audio. Give me a second. No, I need to unmute. Yeah, I think I muted the website.
Oh, okay. Right. I can hear it for me.
Okay, cool. Let's see. All right, let's go. I look good.
Behold, the king of the Koopas!
This is amazing.
Bowser's good too. Jack Black is Bowser.
Open the gates!
Really good. I like that. The penguins.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield? I do not.
That's awesome.
I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Oh, oh no, oh no.
What is this?
Oh no!
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
Well, not that far off.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. So, oh shit. Okay. Okay. First and foremost, it looks good.
Yeah.
First and foremost, that actually looks good. It looks really fun. That's something that I would definitely want to go watch. But yeah, literally when Mario opened his mouth, I was like, oh my god, it's Chris Pratt. It's Chris Pratt. Or it's this the guy from the Lego movie, the special. It's just lazy to cut out the voice actor who built the tone of the Mario character for a cheap star power bump. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For me, if his name's Charlie or Charles.
Yeah, I think Charlie.
Yeah. So let me see. Is it let's see. Voice of Mario. Not Chris Pratt. Go away. Okay, so the original, the original is Charles Martinet. I think Martinet. Yeah, I actually bumped into him at E3. The last E3 that I went to. I actually bumped into. He was like giving out autographs and stuff like that. He's always at like the booths doing like the voices. He's such an amazing. He's such an amazing guy. Like let me actually bring up the photo.
A lot of these actors are.
He's super nice. And you can go up, like you can just go up to him and ask for an autograph. Like he would just sure, and he'll just do the voice and stuff like that. And he's super nice. I believe it was in 2019 when I bumped into him at E3. I bumped into him with a couple of friends of mine. Yeah, Jack Black is a good Bowser, but come on, we all know that ain't Mario. I had a feeling it was gonna be bad. It's actually pretty bad.
Yeah. And I think what adds fuel to the fire is Chris Pratt was making it out that he's working hard to replicate Charles. But it's still Chris Pratt.
Come on, come on, you gotta do wow, Mamma Mia. He's got I'm walking here, Mamma Mia. Yeah, I like mushrooms. Oh my god. Okay. Other than his voice, everything looks pretty damn good. The whole Bowser scene in the beginning was amazing, and I like the fact that they're actually bringing in some of the penguins. I remember in playing Super Mario 64, where you can actually go and like drop the penguins off like the side of the cliff, and
100%.
I remember like I'm glad they're bringing all of that. I hope they bring in a ton of Easter eggs, and I'm pretty sure they will. I'm pretty sure this movie is going to get a crap ton of money since Illumination does an amazing job. But the thing is, I wonder if there's going to be so much of a backlash where they will completely have maybe Charles help him do like a vocal coach to Chris Pratt to change his voice a little bit more.
Maybe.
Do you remember the backlash with Sonic? How they're like,
that's what people correlated to. Like, but Angry Ghost said the exact same thing. But I kind of agree with them. I don't think it's gonna get the same level of backlash as Sonic. It's not gonna get hit that hard to the point that they're gonna remove Chris Pratt. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, yeah. I believe Corey in the chat is correct. Like, it's just the fact that you have Chris Pratt playing this character. I think that's a star bump. But maybe the thing is racist to sound like an OG Mario. Yeah, Italians are white. Are they? Yeah. And the thing is that I'm pretty sure there are actually Italians that sound like that. May it be it's like, of course, this is a more like more forced version of of like of a person's accent. It's sort of like when you're sort of doing when comedians do voice acting for like or they make fun of their parents, like when Russell Peters does it, or like was when Joe Coy does it, when he makes fun of his parents or something like that, or or when I make fun of my mom or my dad, using the Chinese accent, I make the accent a lot more thicker and stronger to make it more comedic, right? So I'm pretty I'm pretty sure maybe I hope Charles can actually give him a voice coach. I'm not sure when this movie comes out. I'm pretty sure it comes out next year.
Yeah, it said March.
Oh wow, this movie is actually coming out the same month that Nintendo Land opens in Universal Studio Hollywood.
Oh yeah, I think they
damn.
intentionally did it. Yeah, they intentionally did it to build up the demand.
Oh my god! The thing is that people are already super hyped for it, and it's I've here's the thing. I used to work at Universal, so I know exactly where they're putting this. They're putting the theme park.
Oh,
and it's basically going to be downstairs, where the Mummy ride is and the Transformer ride, and they're probably going to open up that back area. It's going to be huge. Like I've been wanting a Nintendo Land for such a long time. Like I've actually been talking about making a Nintendo Land. I remember back when I was like in high school, I was like, they should make a Nintendo Land. I don't know why it hasn't done it. Someone chat says, I don't know, changes are always happening, so not to offend people. I hope this is like an early, because this is like a teaser, right? So hopefully later on they change it. I remember even something as small as I remember watching the Venom trailer, and I remember in the Venom trailer, one of the scientists calls the symbiote the symbiote. That's not how it's known to be said. You can say symbiosis, right? It's fine. It's sort of like tomato, but we always call it symbiote. And I remember in the trailer they call it symbiote. And then I'm like, no, do not say it like that. I hope they change it. And then I think in the movie, when I watched the movie in the theater, they changed it into, oh, they're talking about a symbiote. So hopefully maybe they can do like a retake for the voice acting. The voice acting shouldn't be that hard. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex also said like he's because he's really against Chris Pratt's the voice thing. So it's like you can still unfuck this. So hopefully they do. Hopefully maybe as I think that's the best compromise. Like Charles can step in to help out Chris Pratt. I think that's the best way to do it. But Corey says like Corey in chat saying like it's because Charles is such an integral character to the Mario brand, so he should be included in at least in my opinion to a certain capacity.
Oh yeah, it's not mean spirited. They pay Charles whatever whatever they do, or a GoFundMe needs to be started. He's such a huge part of the character. Yeah, it's sort of like. Do you remember when you watched Toy Story for the first time? Like back in 95, 96. It was groundbreaking, right? Everyone loved Toy Story. And you knew that Tom Hanks was the voice of Woody and Tim Allen was the voice of Buzz. And then all of a sudden, Buzz Lightyear came out last year. Like the Lightyear movie. And they're like, what? You're not using Tim Allen's voice? This is like, it's not the same thing, like that's why that's one main reason why a lot of people were upset about that movie, whether or not you liked it or not. It's just like, why didn't you bring Tim Allen back? Like, I think they didn't bring him back because of his politics. It's because I believe he's like I believe he's right leaning, or he's more conservative leaning or something like that, and they just don't like what he says on Twitter or whatever. But he still made the voice. He is Buzz
Lightyear. Yeah.
So exactly. You can't change that. It's so how long has it been now? What, 20? So it's definitely been more than 20 years, right? Maybe 27 years, 28 years since that came out. And the first time we ever heard Mario talk in terms of it's me, Mario, right? I think is, in my opinion, might be Mario 64.
Yeah, that was in my mind. Exactly. It's the exact same
right
thing.
So that was what, in the late 90s, maybe like 96, 97, when Nintendo 64 came out. And the thing is that I played this shit. Like that's the first, like when I bought my own Nintendo 64, and I played the shit out of that game, and that's the voice is like synonymous towards that, and you cannot change it. Like if there's a character that that it's not that's not that character, you sort of know like, okay, yeah, sure, it's fine, but it's not even like the Chris Pratt's voice, not even close. He's not. It seems like he's not even trying. It's sort of like
Yeah.
when you have Kevin Conroy playing as the original Batman from the animated series in the 90s, right? He's when you hear Batman's voice, he's the Batman voice. But you have all these other actors who are doing the voice. You could tell they're trying. You could tell that it's working. But the fact that you don't even hear, it's me, Mamma Mia, so long, Gay Bowser, right? You don't hear any of that, and all you hear is, "Hi, I'm Chris Pratt. Hey, I'm walking here." It's just,
Yeah.
you're gonna get backlash. I 100% agree with you. They can completely unfuck this up and make it better. There is time. You have how many months? Maybe like 6 months to fix it. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna get like review screening for like critics probably like a month prior to that. So maybe 5 months, 4 to 5 months. You can fix this. Yeah, dude, bro, Mario, yo, bro, yo, dude, bro, and Luigi. If everyone sounds like their part, other than Mario, I'll be very upset. Like if
Yeah.
Luigi is like, "Let it go," and like, wah, like if there's like Wario and he goes wah, and like it has to sound like it, right? And if Yoshi, when Mario jumps on the Yoshi and it doesn't go like boom, boom, and like it doesn't do any of that, it's like it's gonna suck. It like the sound effects are so important, the voices is so important, and like if everyone sounds good other than Mario, yeah, I'll be very upset. Italians aren't white except for when they are. True. There are dark Italians, right? But yeah, I don't think that that's Pratt's decision though. Here's the thing: Chris Pratt is big enough in terms of star power and in terms of pull, where he can actually dictate how the character sounds, right? Because you have some characters who are like, I'm gonna play Lex Luthor, but I'm gonna play him as if I'm Mark Zuckerberg from from that one movie, the Facebook movie, says Jesse Eisenberg, and then I'm gonna put a Jolly Rancher inside this guy's mouth, and I'm gonna, have a Jolly Rancher, have a Jolly Rancher, and like they have their. It's possible. It's definitely possible. The thing is that I don't think he wants to, or maybe he's like, oh, I did good voice acting in the Lego movies. I don't see why not. Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Just have Carlos
yeah. Also,
social network.
I would,
Yeah, thank you.
people have the power. If a lot of people speak up, we have the power to make Chris Pratt or even the showrunners change their mind. And that's my opinion. Like if a lot of people are vocal enough, talk about it, voice their concerns about it. I think there's still the possibility of them changing their minds. I mean, the best example is Sonic the movie. Like people were so angry, like they really butchered his facial image. So it ended up being okay. Let's delay this project and let's put him back to the more original look. Then so I believe it's possible. It's still possible to
like
change.
I 100% agree. And the thing is that this will not bog down any of the stuff that's been going on, right? All you're doing is re-saying your lines with a different accent. That's it.
They don't even need to overhaul it like Sonic did.
Yeah, Sonic got like delayed like by almost a year, and I believe a lot of them got burnt out, and probably like a couple of them probably got let go or something like that. But look how great the final product was, right? And I'm pretty sure if we start a petition at change.org or change whatever it is, I'm pretty sure the petition will get to 1 million instantly, right? And I'm pretty sure like the thing is that the Japanese voices, like for Mario, I'm not sure, it's probably done by Charles as well. I'm not sure, because it's so he's so famous. He's so famous for doing his voice. It's just like why would you not use his voice? It's so stupid.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but I know there are tweets going on Twitter that says the French actor sounds very much like Charlie. the French voice actor of this.
Wait, can we watch? Is there a French version that we can watch?
That I don't. If chat knows, please. But I know there is. I know there's a French version, and it sounds very, very much like Mario, or at least very near. There's a French version of it.
Wait, okay. Super Mario the movie, but only Mario is French. Oh, here it is. Le film bande announced VF. Okay, it might be this one. All right.
I don't know if it's official or maybe someone just placed it voiced over, but
I don't know.
I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that on Twitter.
Yeah. Pratt's super talented. If he could pull it off, and he tried. Yeah, it sounds like Mario. Okay, let's actually check this out. Okay. Guess we're gonna watch it again, chat. It looks great. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how the French Albert.
Son Altesse, le roi des coupes!
Ouvrez les portes!
Good. First voices are good.
Chargez!
I love this trailer. It's so well done.
Yeah.
Ce n'est qu'un avant-goût de notre furie. Es-tu prêt à te soumettre? Je crains que non. Je l'ai
Badass.
enfin trouvé. Plus personne ne m'arrêtera!
Oh my god!
See,
No fucking way.
it sounds much more like Mario.
That's so good.
Où est-ce que je suis tombé?
Touche pas à tes champignons ou t'es mort! Oh, autant pour moi. Celui-là, c'est bon, il te fera rien. Tu viens, Marion?
Royaume champignon, nous voilà!
Oh my god. No way, dude. Just that guy. Just have him do an American accent. Just have him speak English. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Just have okay. As much as I love Chris Pratt, just have him do it. Just have him take over. I'm playing some Mario tomorrow just from watching this trailer. Oh my god, man! I definitely want to go back and play some Mario.
Yeah,
but
I'm willing to bet the sales. Mario got some boost in sales from this trailer.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, so I want this movie to do really good, and I think it will. Illuminations usually their movie does really really well. Like just look at like Minions and like Despicable Me. I would say if this movie does really well, we can potentially have a more serious type of animation. Like imagine if they had a Link like Zelda game, like a Zelda like animated. Like I've been wanting something like that for a while. Like have it a little bit more aged up, just a little bit. But holy crap, that'll be super good. Like oh my god, like Donkey Kong. Oh my god, dude, you don't even know. Like Donkey Kong will be really good too. Like man. Oh, it'll be super dope. I'm looking forward to it. I'm super looking forward to that. But yeah, that French one is really good. French one's really really good. Oh man, but man, it's crazy. So I hope that Chris Pratt goes ahead and takes note from all the fan backlash and stuff like that and change it. If they don't, then it's sort of gonna be it might actually completely throw you out of the movie. Yeah, the French voice actor's tone is much better. Yeah, like the fact that you just showed up the wah, like that, like
yeah,
right away,
exactly.
Really but awesome, man. That we're gonna call it there. But man, that's super fun. But before we leave, chat, go ahead and like, If you like what we do, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It definitely helps us and the podcast. We do go live every Saturday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. With that, Grae, do you have anything to shout out? You said that you have a new your YouTube channel is up and stuff.
Yes, I finally have a YouTube channel. Well, it's there, but now there's content. So I just finished my my Valkyrie Elysium review. It's over an hour long. So I'm definitely looking for some more feedback. But based on what I received, they said it's pretty good. So I'm very happy because it's good. The review, that kind of review is gonna be what's gonna be the Last of Us Part 2 review is gonna be once I give it to Phil for him to upload here for Project Eggroll. But yeah, I also live stream on Twitch. But for now, I'm still waiting for Star Ocean to release. But yeah, my Twitch handle is twitch.tv/Graeblade. My user here right now. Okay, and that's about it. Thank you so much.
All right, awesome. And you can go ahead and follow me on YouTube at Mr. Phillip Chen, and same thing on Twitch. But yeah, we will be back next Saturday. We're gonna talk more about the last episode of The Rings of Power. Hopefully that one is not as shitty as this past one that made me super upset. Same thing, more of Andor. I think I'm definitely looking more forward to Andor. I think there's going to be some huge battles going to about to happen, and especially tomorrow. Tomorrow for what's it called again?
House of the Dragon.
Ooh, House of Dragon. Ooh, man, I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, thank you guys all so much for hanging out tonight. We definitely do appreciate each and every one of you. And we will be back next Saturday with more stuff. And we definitely have more fanfic written by non-fans.
True. Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. All right. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great day or night, wherever you guys may be. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.